So let's see if we are ready for Q&A. Yes, we are. Okay.
Well, hey guys and gals and everyone else who is potentially listening to this broadcast. Like the other presentations, I'll keep talking until I hear one of you or see one of you say that you can actually hear my voice, because we've caught up Twitch-wise. So talk anytime. Hopefully somebody will hear me soon. Anytime now. There we go. Okay, so hey, back again with my same co-host as the last time. And we're going to start with questions. Now, we are slowing down the room because I expected there would be a lot of questions regarding this system. What I'm going to do, instead of just taking questions from you guys, I have been paying a lot of attention, obviously, to the stream. So I'm going to answer some key questions first without, tracking back who asked them, because you guys have a lot of really good questions so far, and I expect you'll have even better ones going forward. So let's start.
You have a really super slow. Just so
Yeah. So let's start with some of the most obvious questions, and quite necessary. Balance. Yeah, this is going to be ass. We know that. You guys know it. Anyone who's played any MMO since the first MMO know that what we're trying to do here is really difficult. Can we pull it off? Obviously, we think we can. If we couldn't, we wouldn't propose this. Because one of persons in the stream was like, boy, I'll give you another $50 if you don't change your mind after being in design and balance for this for the first few months. We know it's tough, and it's going to be complicated, and we have a long way to go before we can say that this system is even the final system. But that's why we're talking about it now. That's why this whole BSC. It wasn't for the stat presentation. It isn't so you can see a lot of talk with myself or even, someone like Andrew. It's so you guys can see the progress we've made on the game, meet the team, and just as importantly, hear some of these ideas right now. Because there's a lot that's going on that you guys really should know about. So that's one of the big things. Another big thing that people have asked about is obviously the ability of people to, cast these spells. Will it make it, and this obviously relates to balance, will it make it OP? And, besides the just, hey, we're going to balance it, yeah, of course it could make it OP. It could be absolutely crazy OP. And I love mages, other guys here love mages, but that's not what we're trying to do. I mean, we're not trying to make a game that is just dominated by mages. And let me reassure the tanks among you, the archers among you, and other classes that people may be interested in playing that I won't talk about right now. We've kept you in mind at the same time. So, just a couple quick questions there. And now I'm going to start looking at the stream again and start answering questions. What is the idea? This is from Olovic. Was the idea for the Magic system influenced by forum posts? Not at all. I mean, again, go back to Dragon's Gate decades ago. I mean, this was essentially the core idea behind that game as well. That you put runes together, and the runes were on the body, though it was a text mud, and you create a spell. So, it's been something I wanted to do. And for those who are really interested in the history of Dark Age of Camelot, it's actually an idea I proposed during the initial, design for the game, and it was shot down. So now we got a chance to try to do it here and do something that we couldn't do back in the Dark Age days. So just so you know, guys, anyone who's asking questions about like limits or, you know, number of runes totally or all that sort of stuff, we don't know yet. So, you know, I won't be ignoring you guys on, well, actually, I will be ignoring you on purpose because there is no answer. You know, there couldn't be an answer right now. So, can players casting magic be easily interrupted? Absolutely. Absolutely. We've said right from the beginning of the Kickstarter that interrupts in this game are important. Well, now you see one of the reasons why interrupts have to be important. You know, magic is kind of cool. It has the potential, and the air system has the potential to be, you know, a major, you know, important point for this game. So, yes, we will have all sorts of interrupts, and the interrupt system will be robust. It has to be. If it isn't, then no matter what else we do, the magic system will be overpowered. No question. Question about online guides. We'll take advantage of the magic system, and everybody will use guide guides. And frankly, we've said, you know, during the Kickstarter and the BSC days that we want, you know, to support guides. Well, this isn't, you know, what? Oh, good. Thunderstorm's starting. This should be fun. It's 2014 right now. There's been this wonderful thing called the internet. You know, it's been up for, you know, well, at least what, a year now? And so even if we tried to hide guides or discourage guides, they'd be up there. So we're encouraging it. We're going to embrace it. We're going to make it, you know, hopefully part of the system. And, you know, will knowledge mean that only certain, you know, combinations are used? Well, in a way, that's a good thing, because if we have these guides up and these guides are saying, hey, screw all these other combinations, the only thing you need is this, then we've screwed up as designers. Then, you know, Ben and I and the team just didn't do a very good job. And so that will at least push us to try to improve things and do better, you know, not only when the game goes live, but more importantly, during beta. Will there be any illusion magic? Well, that's something out that I've talked about over the last year. I'd love to find a way that we could do it. Question from a man's name or a woman's name I am not going to try to pronounce, and that just scrolled by so fast, which is a shame. It looked like it was being a very good question. Slow down the scroll, please. From Roar, will spell graphics increase and be more impressive with power as like Dark Age of Camelot? The answer is probably not, and not because I'm worried about, you know, Dark Age of Camelot, because certainly the concept of spells being more impressive as they got more powerful is something that's, you know, quite a common usage. What is in common usage, but the key for this game, as I have said, as Andrew said, and anybody has said that is connected to this project, the key is frame rate. The key is being able to have battles which are not a slideshow. And if scaling up the power of the spells always meant these amazing effects coming out, well, yeah, that'd be great if you're a single-player game. That'd be great if we're an instance-based game. But since we're all about the large-scale RVR, no. You know, that's not great. That's not something we're going to focus on. You know, if we could have both, of course we'd love to have both. But realistically, I don't think it's possible.
It's at 20 minutes per question.
Okay. Will healers be using the same system? Well, yeah, of course. I shouldn't maybe say of course, but, you know, healers are using, you know, magic, whether it's magic from the same power source as our casters use it, or it's from the greater powers, or it's from something else. They will, of course, use a similar system. Again, question on healers. Sorry, guys. Monitor went out for a sec. Yeah, look, I'll say, keep saying the same thing about healers. that I've said even before the Kickstarter, I think in one of my FPs. Healers are a very, very, very important part of this game. We set out with the goal, again, not even from day one, but before, to make sure that the guys and gals who like to play healers in this game look at Camelot Unchained as their next home. So if we, put together a healing system that was, not good, lame even, then I think we would not be keeping with that goal. So, folks, don't worry about, will healers be using the exact same system? Will they be as powerful, in their own right? The answer is, of course, yes. We have to make our healers cool and interesting, or not only will we lose, the folks who backed us because of it, but they'll be very angry at me. And, torches in this building, especially with the air conditioning problems we keep having, not a good combination. Will we be able, Smudge Punch, will we be able to give spells a name? Yeah, yes, you will. And there's something that we may even be able to do with the first people who get to use or who discover a combination. So that is one of those really more out there ideas that, we'll have to just see how that goes. But the idea of, you make your own combinations and you name them and use them, that's the plan. Jor, sounds too massive and too good to be true. Yeah. It's going to be, again, a pain in the butt, folks. We know it's going to be. That's why we're talking about it now. There is a reason why, again, these are the BSC days. This is going to be tough. I'm not going to sit here, get on the hype train, and say, oh my God, it's going to be awesome. Nothing's going to go wrong. And no, it's going to be hard. And, do we think we can do it? Absolutely. Will I promise? Of course not. But we're going to give it a shot, because this Kickstarter, your guys' donations, it wasn't to make somebody else's game, or to make somebody else's game with better graphics. It was to try to do some different things, to try to take risks, to be willing to take risks. Because there are enough studios out there, who are making, not the same game, but making a similar enough game to other games. We're not, so we're going to take a shot. Will it be possible to create control spells instead of damage or healing spells? Yes, of course. That is something that we are, certainly going to be looking at kind of heavily. Joyous God, shape-shifting mechanics, transmogrification. Maybe. And that really is a maybe. Vasir, could you invent a spell that gave you lots of blood? Well, that would be a bit of a problem, obviously, if blood ends up being the power source. Then you've got mages who can essentially keep themselves going, almost indefinitely. And, we'll see what happens. But that's something that probably wouldn't be a great idea. Do stats act as a gating mechanism for spells too? Hellraise. Absolutely. Adri Corteza, are you afraid other studios could use your ideas as well? Yeah, use your ideas as well, of course. That's part of being a game developer. People have used my ideas for decades. I've used their, ideas. Most of this stuff is built, on other people's, ideas. It doesn't matter whether you're making Dark Age of Camelot, whether you're making, Warhammer Online, whether you're making WoW. So, am I afraid that somebody is going to leap in and take this? No, because you have a great game like Magicka, which used a system, that has more than obviously some similarity, just like my Dragon's Gate and, books that have used, systems like this. Artichoke, will Magic be the same in the depths? Yeah, Magic is, you don't want to say Magic is magic, but, kind of magic is magic. Gondrum, will the regular environment interact with spells as well? That's the plan, Stan. Oh.